Hello students, how are you? Okay, let's start the chapter Dual Nature of Radiation and Matter. First of all, you should know electrons. What is electron? It is an elementary particle having a negative charge of 1.6 into 10 to power minus 19 coulomb and mass 9.1 into 10 to power minus 31 kg. Then work function. What is work function? The minimum amount of energy required by an electron to just escape from the metal surface is known as work function of the metal. It is denoted by W0. Electron emission. What is electron emission? The phenomenon of emission of electrons from a metal surface is called electron emission. It is of the following types. First is thermionic emission. Here electrons are emitted from the metal surface with the help of thermal energy. Second is field or cold cathode emission. Electrons are emitted from a metal surface by subjecting it to a very high electric field. Third, photoelectric emission. Electrons are emitted from a metal surface with the help of suitable electromagnetic radiation. Fourth is secondary emission. Electrons are ejected from a metal surface by striking fast-moving electrons over it. Now, kinetic energy gained by an electron. When an electron is accelerated from rest through a potential difference of V, then gain in its kinetic energy EV equal to half mv square. Electron volt EV. It is the kinetic energy gained by an electron when it is accelerated through a potential difference of 1 volt. 1 electron volt equal to 1.6 into 10 to power minus 19 joule, and 1 million electron volt equal to 1.6 into 10 to power minus 13 joule. The work function of a metal is generally measured in electron volt. Now, photons. What is photons? According to Planck's quantum theory of radiation, an electromagnetic wave travels in the form of discrete packets of energy called quanta. One quantum of light radiation is called a photon. The main features of photons are as follows. First is, a photon travels with the speed of light. Second is, the frequency of a photon does not change as it travels from one medium to another medium. Third is, the speed of a photon changes as it travels through different media due to the change in its wavelength. Fourth is, the rest mass of a photon is zero, meaning that a photon cannot exist at rest. Fifth is, energy of a photon E equal to h nu, and that will be hc upon lambda. Sixth is, momentum of photon P equal to mc, and that will be equal to h nu upon c, and that will equal to h upon lambda. Seventh is, from Einstein's mass energy relationship, the equivalent mass of a photon is given by E equal to mc square equal to h nu, or m equal to h nu upon c square. Now I will tell you about the photoelectric effect. What is photoelectric effect? The phenomenon of emission of electrons from a metal surface when electromagnetic radiations of sufficiently high frequency are incident on it is called photoelectric effect. The photo means light, generated electrons are called photoelectrons. Alkali metals like lithium, sodium, calcium, cesium show photoelectric effect with visible light. Metals like Jadion, Cd, and Mg respond to ultraviolet light. Photoelectric effect involves the conversion of light energy into electrical energy. It follows the law of conservation of energy. It is an instantaneous process. Photoelectric current. What is photoelectric current? The current constituted by photoelectrons is called photoelectric current. Its value depends on number one is the intensity of light. Second is the potential difference applied between the two electrodes. And third is the nature of the cathode material. Cutoff or stopping potential. Cutoff or stopping potential. It is the minimum value of the negative potential that must be applied to the anode of photocell to make the photoelectric current zero. It is denoted by V0. Its value depends on number one is the frequency of the incident light. Second is the cathode material. Given frequency of incident light, it is independent of its intensity. The stopping potential is directly related to the kinetic energy of the emitted electrons. K maximum equal to half mv maximum square equal to V0. Next, I'm going to tell you about the threshold frequency. What is threshold frequency? The minimum value of frequency of incident radiation below which the photoelectric emission stops altogether is called threshold frequency. It is denoted by V0 and is a characteristic of material. Laws of photoelectric effect. What is law of photoelectric effect? First law is for a given metal and a radiation, the rate of emission of photoelectrons is proportional to the intensity of incident radiation. For a given metal and a radiation, the rate of emission of photoelectrons is proportional to the intensity of incident radiation. Second is for every metal, there is a certain minimum frequency below which no photoelectrons are emitted. However, high is the intensity of incident radiation. This frequency is called threshold frequency. Number three is for the radiation of frequency higher than the threshold of frequency. The maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons is directly proportional to the frequency of the incident radiation and is independent of the intensity of the incident radiation. Fourth is the photoelectric emission is an instantaneous process.